Hello and welcome to my Tarot Corner. So this is part 2 of the reading that I started yesterday, and this is going to be another Tarot reading. And yesterday I looked into the possible things that Meghan might do in order to upstage or to try and upstage the coronation. Today I'm going to look into possible reasons as to why Meghan decided not to come. Because let's be honest, none of us really believes that she decided to stay behind so that Archie will have at least one parent with him doing a birthday party for him. That is ridiculous. And as many people said, the best birthday party for Archie, the best birthday present for Archie would have been to be at his grandfather's coronation, even if he's not having a role in the coronation ceremony. That would have been such a great experience. So it really is a very lame excuse. So I gathered 6 possible reasons that people came up with in the past 2 days since the news broke that Meghan is not coming. Some came up from Neil Sean, some from Richard Eden, some were from other news articles, and and I'm trying really very hard to keep up with everything. And as you know, I am still keeping up with everything that is going on here, and it's a lot. So, but I'm going to start with, as you know, with every tarot reading, I need to start with a first reading that is not a tarot reading. First, I'm starting with it could be an SOS reading, could be any kind of reading, and then go on with a tarot reading. And this time I'm going to look into the way Harry feels about going alone and facing his family alone. And today Neil Sean actually said that he's planning to bring his therapist with him, whether it is Dr. Mate or another therapist, it doesn't really matter. The rumors about it came up beforehand that if he comes to the coronation alone, then he will bring a therapist with him. And it seems like he finds it very hard to face his family by himself. And I'm reading articles that are saying that the royal aides are making a lot of putting a lot of effort to differentiate between Harry and William, so there will be no contact whatsoever between the two brothers, which I think that had Diana known about that, she would have rolled in her grave knowing that her 2 boys cannot even be at the same room with one another. So how does Harry feel being around his family when he's unable to be there without being with a therapist by his side? So how does it feel for him? And if it's all around separation looming from Meghan, and if it is all because if he's coming alone because his relationship with his wife is getting cooler, let's say it that way, because they are in bad relationship right now, it even makes him feel even worse, I think. So this is going to be the first reading, and then I will go on with a tarot reading and look into the 6 possible reasons why Meghan is not coming to the coronation. So before I start, please take a few moments to read my full disclaimer in the description box. This is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourselves. And for this reading, I am using the PULP Tarot, which is a tarot deck that is based on the pinup posters that were very prevalent in the 50s and the 60s. It's a very, very fun tarot deck, but it also gives you what I feel about Meghan. Okay, so let's start by clearing the deck. And let's start asking. So, how does Harry feel facing his family during his father's coronation all by himself? How does Harry feeling that he has to go to the coronation without his wife and face his family all by himself? How does it make him feel? How does Harry feel about going to the coronation alone, without his wife, without his children? How does Harry feel about going to the coronation without his family, about facing his father and the rest of his royal family after writing so many vile things about them and talking about them in the Netflix documentary? How does it feel for him to face his family once again when he has no shield and no one to be there for him except maybe a therapist? How does Harry feel? Okay, so I'm cutting into 3 because this is not an SOS reading. This is, I'm just taking 3 cards to see the general energies here. And let's start reading the cards. So the first card is the Sun. So the Sun actually shows us 2 things. First of all, it is a card of happiness. It is a card of joy and abundance. It is also the Father card. And it seems like Harry does miss his father. Despite everything that he said and everything that he wrote, he does miss his father, and with all the bad blood that went with between them, and the phone calls that King Charles couldn't take any longer, sorry, because Harry kept asking for money, and everything that went between them, still he is his father, and Harry does miss his father, and he still has this joy of seeing his father again, and this is why the Sun card came here. So it's not altogether misery for him to be there and to go there, because I think that if it was a complete misery, then he would have said, you know what, I don't care. Just I'm not going. And for me, this is a complete rift from my family. I don't care about them any longer. I'm not going back. I'm not going to be there, and I don't care any longer. But he does care, and he does want to be there. He does want to be with his father, and that is why he's going, even though he has to go there alone. So this is why we have the Sun card that has the dual meaning of the father and the happiness, and he is happy to see his father. Maybe not all of his family, but he is happy to see his father again. Next card is Temperance. So Temperance is about believing, and this is a second major arcana. And this is another card that speaks, that is very spiritual. So it's all spiritual, it's all in the higher levels of, nothing is really coming down to the ground level. Because for Harry, he hasn't really, let's say up until now, he hasn't really digested the fact that he's going to face his family all alone. So it's still there in his cognitive level, but he hasn't realized that it's going to happen. And he still believes that maybe he can talk to his father, maybe he can try and heal at least part of the rift with his father, or maybe he can talk to his father and get his father to apologize, because as you remember, he wanted his father to apologize, and he claimed that this is the only thing that keeps them from being together, is the fact that he expects his father and his brother to apologize. Now, I don't think that he really thinks that he can have his brother apologize, but maybe this card shows that he has this kind of belief that he can convince his father to maybe say something, that he's sorry about the way things ended up, maybe not come out and say I apologize for the way I treated you, but come out and say that he's sorry about the way things ended up, and something that Harry can relay to Meghan as some kind of an apology, and maybe Harry is hoping that he can, that Meghan is not sharp enough to realize that it's not a real apology, but actually she is, and it won't suffice her. But so this card is showing that he is hoping that he might get to talk to his father and get to heal some of the rift between them. And once again, it's only with his father, because we started with the Sun card. So it's not the whole family, it's mainly his father. And the third card that we get here is the Queen of Cups. And that is another card that represents King Charles. Queen of Cups, that is the Scorpio card, and King Charles is the Scorpio, and in this instance, I'm looking at it as the card that represents King Charles, because it fits very well in this reading, because this shows that Harry is really motivated by going there to be there for his father. He's thinking about his father. He really cares about trying to heal some kind of, at least part of the rift with his father. He really cares about trying to find a way to talk to his father. He completely forgets that he slighted Camilla in a way that is unforgivable. Yeah, he forgets that completely. But this whole reading shows that he's thinking about his father, and that he is willing to go and is happy to go only because he's thinking about his father. And it is about his father's day. The coronation is King Charles's day. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the cards to align in the right way to answer my questions regarding why Meghan decided not to go. So first let's shuffle the cards, because none of us believe that she didn't want to go because of Archie's birthday. It's just, I think that that King Charles picked this day to just give her a good excuse not to come. So let's see if we can get the real reason why. Okay, so let's clear the deck again. And let's start asking. So please align the cards in the right way to answer my questions regarding the reason why Meghan decided not to come to the coronation. Please align the cards to answer correctly my next questions regarding why Meghan decided not to come to London for the coronation ceremony. Please align the cards in the right way to answer correctly my questions regarding why did Meghan decide not to arrive to London for the coronation ceremony. And in Tarot readings, we cut only once, and I'm taking 4 cards, and the 5th card is the answer. So the first question is she afraid of the boos that the British public might call her? We saw the British booing her or booing them at the Platinum Jubilee, and I'm sure that many people were expecting them to come only to be there and to boo them. So I suppose many people are disappointed now. So is the fear of boos one of the reasons? And we can have more than one. And the 8 of Wands, that is a yes card. And the 8 of Wands, it's a card of speed and velocity. This is a card of communication. But as I always tell you in tarot readings, it's either we have a yes or no card, or we have a message card. Now, if I get a yes or no card, I don't care what the message is, because it's a yes or no card. And the answer is yes. If I get, or no. If I get a message card, then I need to get into the message to try to extract the answer. So here the answer is yes, and the fear of boos is most definitely one of the reasons why she decided not to come. Okay, another possibility is that she is afraid of the way that the royal family will accept her, especially since both William and King Charles refused to apologize, and she demanded an apology to her, and a public apology. So is she afraid of secret weapon Sophie, as Sue Smith likes to call her, and of Princess Anne and other members of the royal family that might greet her in a non-friendly way? So is that part of the reason? And we can get more than one possibility, and the answer is the Empress. And the Empress is, it's a yes, because the Empress is major arcana, and major arcanas are usually message cards, but this is a message card with a tendency towards a yes, because this is a very positive aligned card. So I'm not getting into the message, because Meghan is not an empress, and she's not a mother, and she's not someone who gives everything that she has, but she is afraid of those who are, of Catherine, of Sophie, of Princess Anne, of those who are the empresses. So she's afraid of them. And yeah, so this is part of the reason. But if I have to look at both of these and say which one is stronger, than the booze of the public, of the English public, is stronger than the British royal family. Okay, next possibility is the anger that the royal family wouldn't give them any role, that they wouldn't give them any balcony appearance, and especially that I understand that they wanted Archie to have a role, just like Prince George, to be a page. Yeah, an American child that was never in any kind of royal engagement, any kind of royal event. They wanted him to be a page, just like Prince George. So she's angry because she wouldn't be on the balcony, because she wouldn't be seated in a prominent place. And that is part of the reason. So let's see what we're getting. And the answer is the Magician. And the Magician is another major arcana with a yes tendency. And the Magician is about creating from nothing. So she wanted, and this is a person that wants to appear in front of an audience. This is someone who needs an audience. So once again, it's not as strong as the booze, but it is as strong as the Empress card. And here it's even stronger than the Empress card, because she really needed the appearance in front of an audience. She needed to be there on the balcony. She needed to be there up front and sitting with everyone else, and not back with the rest of the non-prominent guests. I don't think that it's very much the role for Archie, as it is not allowing her to wear a tiara, not letting her to being on the balcony. All of these things, she wanted these things. And for her being at the coronation and not getting those things, for her, it's better not to be there, because the publicity of being in a coronation and being ostracized in the side and at the back is bad publicity, and she needs the good publicity. For her, for the Netflix moment is the moment for her on the balcony. Even if she doesn't get that, she doesn't need to be in the coronation from to begin with. So this is another reason, and it is a strong reason. Once again, because the Magician is someone who likes to perform and needs an audience. Okay, next. She didn't want to bow to Catherine. Looks like I'm going to get a yes for all of those. So we will have to look at which is stronger and which is not. So let's see if that is a reason. And we are getting here the Eight of Cups. So no, No, the bowing to Catherine is a no. The Eight of Cups is another message card, but it is a message card with a no indication. And it's about letting go. It's about leaving the question, and probably because she didn't think that she will have any opportunities to see, to be around Catherine. So she wasn't worried about that. So she wasn't worried that she will have to bow to Catherine. And if you ask me, this didn't even enter her mind. She didn't even think about it. If she had thought about it, then maybe that would have been an issue. But this didn't even enter her mind, so she didn't even think about it. Okay, next. She is afraid, or she was afraid, that Charles might try and do a DNA test to the children, or try and take the children away. And if you remember, I did a reading about it, and I did ask it in a roundabout way if Charles will try to do something. And I did get that Charles might try to do something like that. And maybe she also thought that Charles might try to do something like that. And that was one of the reasons why she decided not to come. And what I'm getting here is the Five of Swords. Okay, so the Five of Swords, it's an interesting question, because the Five of Swords is also a message card, and it's a message with a tendency towards a no, but it's more of a message. And the message of this Five of Swords is not sitting on the fence, to not to wait for other people to make the stand, but to make the stand by yourself, not to wait for others to take the first step, but make the first step. And this is about not taking chances. And because this is about not taking chances, I think that it's more of a yes in this instance, and in this instance only. Because I think that here, in this question, Meghan had the thought she thought that Charles might try to do something about the children. She thought about it, and she decided that she's not taking any chances. She decided that she's not waiting for him to take the first step. She's taking the first step. She's deciding not to come, and she's not bringing the children. And this is why we get the Five of Swords. Now, this is a message card. It's not a yes or no, so it's more difficult to decide whether it is a real no or real yes. But because of the meaning of the card, I feel that it's more of a yes, that she wouldn't take any chances in this instance. She didn't want to take the risk that Charles might try and take the children. Last possibility is because she is losing control over Harry. Is Meghan losing control over Harry? Is the fact that hasn't been able to tell Harry not to go to the coronation is a sign of her losing control over Harry? Let's see. And what we're getting here is the Moon. Okay, and that is another message card. And it's interesting because this is a card of someone who has severe mental health problems. And as I said to you in the past, when both the Moon and the Sun come up in the same reading about a person, it's a sign that there are very, very, very difficult mental health problems here. Now, this shows that, first of all, Harry has difficult difficult mental health problems. He himself is not denying that. The moon is also a card that says we need to talk about it. So there is a need to talk about things. So in this instance, I do see some kind of lose of control, because I think that this card tells us that Meghan is telling Harry, you know what, you're going there, okay, but when you come back, we need to talk about it. This isn't over yet. So this is a result of a lot of disagreements, and many people are saying that there were a lot of disagreements in the Sussexes, and this card shows us that there are a lot of disagreements, and Harry has made the decision to go despite what Meghan said, because Meghan didn't want him to go, and it's not over yet. It's not over yet, and if she's not going to come up with telling him or announcing to the whole world that she's leaving him on the day of the coronation, then when he comes back, then she's waiting for him with talks until he collapses, because she's there waiting. We need to talk about it. This isn't over yet. And this is what the moon card is telling us. So it shows us, first of all, she's mentally ill. We know that. And he has very, very severe mental health difficulties. And both of them together, it's horrible. And this shows that they have been talking a lot about it. And she hasn't gotten what she wanted, and she's angry about that. She feels that her control over him is loosening, and if she's not leaving him, then when he comes back, she is waiting for him with the clock. We need to talk about it. So that's the tarot, and out of all of these, I can tell you that the main reason she didn't want to go is the booze. That is the main reason. That's the Eight of Wands. That's a clear yes, and that is the strongest card out of all of these. And then we get the Magician, regarding the fact that she did not get to perform or did not get the balcony play outing, or didn't get to sit near the royal family. So that is the second reason. The third reason is her fear from the reaction of the royal family itself, especially the women in the royal family, Sophie, Catherine, and Princess Anne. And then her fear from possible act that King Charles might act towards the children. I think that both of those have the same strength. Probably both have the same strength. But these are the main reasons. So this is for the tarot. Let's pick those up. And another witchy oracle. This is the season of the witch. Now this is the summer season of the witch, the BELTANE oracle. And it's funny because I took it out. We had a week of horrible heat wave. And then in the last 3 days, it's been raining nearly non-stop. Raining so hard that usually in And way to a lot, there are creeks that when they are overflowed with water, it's really dangerous. And this time they did overflow, and two brother and sister got killed in the overflow of the creek. So it was terrible, and it happens at least once a year. So I took out the Beltane oracle of the seasons of the witch, and the winter came back. So, but it is springtime. So let's start with clearing the deck. And let's ask energies around Meghan's refusal to attend King Charles' coronation. Meghan's refusal to attend King Charles' coronation. Meghan's refusal to attend King Charles's coronation. And what we're getting here is the green man. You remember the green man is the green man from the from the invitation. And what it says here is, all that I desire comes to me easily and effortlessly. I know this to be true, for I am abundant in all that I do. Now, this is not about Meghan, but let me read the entire message. Okay, the message is, of course, for us and how to deal with everything, and because I never ask for message for Meghan, but just a little bit about the green man. So the green man, and now we can all understand why King Charles put it on his invitation. He is the ultimate expression of abundance, and more specifically, he is an abundance mindset. And when he appears, he is not only infusing the spirit of wealth, he also is also the giver and provider of wealth. So this card shows us that we are living life and enjoying all of the fruits of our labor. That we feel more confident and sure of ourselves, and other people have taken notice of this and seek our advice, knowing that we have much to share. So this is for us, this is for the royal family, for the king, and what it says is that we need to share our knowledge and invite others to partake in our abundance. And abundance doesn't mean money, doesn't mean riches in gold. It can also be abundance in knowledge. So this is the message, and I think it's beautiful that we got it here because it's part of the coronation invitation, and it is just to show that Meghan can say that she doesn't want to come. It doesn't really reflect about on the coronation. Nobody really misses her. On the contrary, I think that everyone just sighed a sigh of relief that she decided not to come. So this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.